being meeting is being recorded, and we're also going to be streaming live on Facebook. And if you have any questions during the chat, please use the chat box that is here in the Zoom feature, and we'll try to get those questions answered, and the chief's going to be looking at those as well. And if you're joining us on Facebook, we'll be looking at your comments and questions on Facebook and try to address those as well as the meeting goes along. So we do have translation available, English to Spanish. And so I'm going to hand it over to Lupe so you can talk to your audience if folks need to have help with interpretation.
Buenas tardes, yo voy a dar la traducción esta noche. Si usted tiene alguna pregunta para el jefe de policía, por favor use la función de chat y él con gusto le contesta su pregunta. Gracias. I'll turn it over to you, Chief.
All right, thank you, Lupe. So yeah, again, this is not a normal chat. Normally they're on the first and third Tuesdays, but because the 4th of July is coming up this Sunday, we thought it'd be a really good idea to come on and talk about what's going on Sunday, what is and isn't happening. There's been some confusion out there. So I did want to just come on and talk about that. I also, while I'm here, wanted to say that there will not be a chat on the first Tuesday of next month. I will be on vacation, and so I won't do that, but we'll pick up on the third Tuesday. So just so everyone knows. So one of the things you may have seen, we've been trying to put out information, was that I think a couple of the papers had reported that the fireworks spectacular was still going on in Rohnert Park. It is not. The fireworks show that was planned was canceled. It was a decision council made a while back. If you remember, that show was kind of to replace fireworks, but because Safe and Sane fireworks are still going to be available this year, the fireworks show will not be going on. So if you hear anybody talking about it, tell them you heard it from me. It's not going on. It was canceled. As you well know, last year, one of the things that we were able to do to try to curb the effects of fireworks in the community was to close down our commercial lots. So in the past, many people have traveled to Rohnert Park. They've set up shop in the Walmart, the Target, shopping centers all over town to light off fireworks. We added an ordinance last year that prevent that. So please do not come to the city and set up in the parking lots. Commercial parking lots are off limits for any and all fireworks. That's Safe and Sane and illegal, of course. So please do not fill up our commercial lots. Only Safe and Sane fireworks are allowed in the city of Rohnert Park, and I just want to reiterate the times that those are allowed. So as far as the sale of Safe and Sane fireworks, the sale starts at 8 a.m. on June 30th, which is tomorrow, and can run through the 4th of July until 9 o'clock. So you can purchase them starting tomorrow on June 30th from 8 in the morning till 9 p.m. on the 4th. You can use them beginning July 2nd at 8 a.m. and ending on July 4th at 10:30 p.m. So I just want to make sure everyone knows when you can buy them and when you can use them. And those, again, are the only fireworks that are allowed in the city. If you are caught using illegal fireworks, you will be issued a notice on the spot, citation for $1,000. It's zero tolerance when we come across this. So please don't put yourself or our personnel in a position that they have to write you that citation. And the misuse of Safe and Sane fireworks, which would be using them outside the times that are required or allowed, using them in the commercial parking lots, anything like that is going to result in a fine of anywhere between $250 to $750. So again, please don't put yourself or our personnel in a position where they have to address that and write a citation. For those of you who will be doing fireworks displays at your home, You know, I know this is a big event, and a lot of times you have people over. It's a big event outside your homes. You do not put your fireworks displays out in the middle of the road. Last year, it increases every year, but what we saw was even more people are building platforms. They're using ladders and wood to build platforms to get the fireworks up off the street a little higher, and they're moving those out into the middle of the street. And it is impossible for us to get down the streets and get to the end of the cul-de-sacs and get to locations that we need to get to. So we need you to keep the streets clear. Enjoy the fireworks, but keep the streets clear for us so we can navigate this community. It's hard enough getting our police vehicles down there, but it's impossible to get the fire vehicles down there. And when you see a fire vehicle coming, oftentimes they're going to a medical. And so we really don't have time to try to navigate around that stuff. So again, please keep your displays out of the street. And then one thing we want to talk about also is just the safely discarding your fireworks. So those things stay hot for a long time, and you may think that they're out because you hit them with the hose or you dunked them in a bucket, but they are still burning inside. So what we're asking you to do is have a bucket of water that you are going to put your fireworks in when they're done, and leave them in that bucket of water overnight. There's no hurry to dump them into the garbage can, because what happens is you put them in the water, you think they're out, you toss them in your garbage can, they smolder, they heat up, and they start your garbage can on fire. Oftentimes your garbage cans are next to your house, which then it's going to leave your house. So most of the times we've seen this happen, that smoldering doesn't take place at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. It takes place at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when you're asleep. Very dangerous. So don't put yourself in that situation. If you're going to use fireworks, have a bucket of water, put them in a bucket of water, and leave them there all night. Throw them away in the morning. There's no hurry. So I'm trying to catch these questions. They're coming in pretty quick. I'll read some of the questions that came in earlier. I had someone talk about Rancho Feliz and the fact that people have been lighting off some, as they say, big boomers, and they're doing it every night. Anybody who wrote in today or during the past couple of days to the chief's chat, I have sent all that information to our patrol officers and the sergeants. So if you've said there's a particular location where we're having a problem, that has now been passed on to our personnel. And so we will be looking and trying to see what we can do about those areas. So anyway, thank you for writing that in. And a little bit about the 4th of July as far as our deployment. Someone wrote in here, what are we doing to try to make it safe? Well, this is every member of public safety is working on the 4th of July. Nobody gets it off. We divided the town up into 4 sectors. We will be filling each sector with as many personnel as we can put in each sector. We're dividing it up evenly, but there'll be personnel in each sector throughout the entire city. The reason we do that is we don't want to chase calls. So what we inform our officers to do is stay in their sector, only handle the calls that are in your sector. And it has helped in the past. And we're hoping by going to 4 sectors with more people in them, we'll have a bigger impact this year. We'll actually have an additional fire engine out with additional staffing, and we'll be running our QRV, which is our quick response vehicle for medicals, so that we're keeping our fire engine available for fires. So we're trying to get our personnel strategically placed in each sector so we have a quick response should something happen. Really what a lot of this comes down to, though, is that people see us, right? It's hard to sneak up on people in our big vehicles and right, people looking out for us. I mean, believe me, I've put people in unmarked cars. I put people in unmarked, dressed down, and some of these individuals who are shooting off the illegal fireworks, they actually have lookouts. They have people down into the corners. Used to be radios. Now they're with phones, calling, saying, "Hey, got a vehicle coming down." And so they're pretty strategic in this stuff, right? So if the community is pinning their hopes on the fact that we are going to be able to shut down illegal fireworks by ourselves, it's probably, you might be disappointed. It's pretty impossible to do it. We need your help. We absolutely need your help. I've said it before. We have got to make the igniting of illegal fireworks socially unacceptable in this community. We have to look at people and say, we are not going to tolerate that behavior in our city, right? And I know I'm asking a huge thing from you. I'm asking you to turn in your neighbor, right? And only you can decide whether you want to do that. I can't make that decision for you. But if we're going to have an impact and we're going to address this, we're going to have to start moving in that direction. And we're going to have to inform our neighbors that, hey, the last 2 years you've lit off illegal fireworks. I'm asking you not to do it. If you do it, you're going to place me in a position where I'm gonna report you. And I know that's hard to do, but that's what we need to move towards. We have to let people know it's unacceptable. Is the fireworks show canceled? Yes, it is canceled. I'll say that again so that no one forgets. This one, someone wrote in asking, because it was to the Chiefs chat, which is kind of my special email for this. It starts out with, what could you possibly be thinking? So I think they were talking to me. With the fire season upon us, no water, you're allowing anyone who wants fireworks to come to Rohnert Park. I've never heard of anything so irresponsible. So, I'll take that one. If someone needs someone to kind of look at it as who's responsible for this. This is a bigger issue. If anyone's been following it, there was an attempt to stop the use of safe and sane fireworks. There was a community movement against that. And because those two things came together, it's going on the ballot, right? I think everybody knows that. So I think it's more than any one person being irresponsible. I think it's just that this is where it's going, and we have to do what we can this year to make 4th of July safe. So I appreciate your comment, and because I appreciate the concern you have for the community. That's what I see in this comment. But every fire department is going to be different or busy. So, but everybody also knows, we do have mutual aid. So yes, other fire departments, that's part of your last year question is, are they aware? Yeah. Everyone's aware that, we're doing fireworks. We're aware what other people are doing. We're aware that Santa Rosa, even though they don't allow safe and sane fireworks, are going to have issues with illegal fireworks. Same with Petaluma, same with everyone. So we're all going to be dealing with our own individual cities because we have irresponsible people out in our community who believe that they have this right to light off illegal fireworks and blow these things up in the sky and allow them to fall on other people's houses, right? So we're going to be dealing with this. But if I had to say, who is being irresponsible, I would say it's the people who believe they need to light off illegal fireworks, right? That's where I would go with that. So, and if you want to talk more about that, we certainly can. You've got the Chiefs chat. I'll be happy to talk to you. But I think that's where the irresponsibility comes. How many fines for illegal fireworks were imposed in 2020? I believe last year we wrote the number 32 sticks in my head, but it's either 32 or 34, somewhere in there. And in 2019, we actually wrote 57. So, with doing the different sector design over the last 2 years and keeping people in those sectors and getting a NAILA map and getting a social host ordinance has really helped us. So basically in 2 years, 2019 and 2020, we've written close to like 90 or 92 tickets, at $1,000 a piece. So, I think we've had an impact on some people, but the people we haven't caught yet, it's not made a difference to them. Can officers be strategically posted in neighborhoods similar to speed traps? Well, first, we don't use speed traps, But that's exactly what we do. That's why we do this, the sectors and we know where some of the hotspots are. So we do have some officers who are assigned to a very specific place. We do have some officers who will not be wearing a uniform, some officers who will not be driving a marked unit. So we're trying to do everything we can to put ourselves in the best situation to address the illegal fireworks. Yeah, and then I've gotten several comments about Mr. Colt out of Arizona. He caused quite a stir earlier when the ban it was looking like there'd be a ban. And so what I can tell you is I'm very aware of this gentleman, and I have reached out to some other agencies who have federal jurisdiction, who have assisted me in contacting and seeing what we can do about Mr. Colt over there in Arizona. So yes, I am very, very familiar with him. But thank you for the information on him. I'm glad other people are keeping an eye on him. Our signs put up at the booths to inform people where fireworks can and cannot be done. Yeah, in fact, I talked to my fire marshal today, confirming that, tomorrow when it opens, we'll be going around together and we'll be making sure that all the information, regarding, the social host ordinance, where you can light them, what is illegal, what is not, safety tips. We're going to make sure all that is on all of the fireworks booths, and hope that people read it. I will tell you that in the past, we've tried to hand out a piece of paper with every purchase, and we found most of those in the garbage. So we found that maybe the best thing to do is just put them on the booths themselves. And when you're standing in line and you're bored, waiting for your turn, you probably read it at that point. So we will be doing everything. And that's another reason why I'm doing this chat tonight and it will go up on our YouTube channels for people to watch it over the next few days. They have these questions. Yes, you can light safe and sane fireworks anywhere in the city other than our commercial lots. You cannot use our commercial lots to light them. And that is only safe and sane. That is not illegal. You cannot light illegal fireworks anywhere in the city or Rohnert Park. And there's a question here, so I'll just get to it right now. Someone asked, what is an illegal firework? They said that they thought they were things that went in the air, but their neighbors shoot them off in the air all the time and tell them that they're legal. Absolutely not. Anything that leaves the ground, anything that runs across the ground, anything that goes up in the air or shoots out of something, like the Roman candles, bottle rockets, M80s, firecrackers, all illegal, all illegal. If it does not have the state approved fire seal on it, it is illegal. And you can go on our Facebook page. We put some videos out, and Jill's laughing because she knows one of the people in the video. And actually on one of those videos with talking about illegal fireworks, you can see the seal. The actual state approved seal is there. So you can see what the seal is required on a firework to be legal. Okay, I think I addressed that. That was talking about what are we doing this year, any additional measures. Golos Park, there is a specific question about Golos Park. What I will tell you about Golos Park this year is, because in the past we've had so many problems in Golos Park, I'm actually putting 2 officers in G section. Their job is Golos Park and G Park. So if you're in G section, you're getting some extra attention this year because you've made me so aware of the activity in G section. So yes, we will be looking at Golos Park this year. The gentleman who sent in the question about the city was incorporated in August of 1962. How many fires have been investigated since that time? You know what? I'm going to get back to you on that, but this is a big email, and I want to make sure I get the information for you. So I've set that one aside so I can actually look into it. I don't know that I'll be able to pull records from 1962, but I'll get you what I can on that. Yes, firecrackers, as I said earlier, no firecrackers allowed. You know, we do let the sheriff's department know and CHP know about what's going on here, but there's both sheriff's department and CHP have their own jurisdictions that they have to take. They do come down into our city when they can get in here, but they're not really available for mutual aid. As I said, each jurisdiction is dealing with the same issue and their own problem. So it's hard to borrow and give people up to another jurisdiction when you need your people in your jurisdiction. So we've let them know. They do know, and they're aware that you know, we'll be working there. It's all hands on deck. And if we need them, they'll be available, but we won't have extra personnel from other jurisdictions because they have to take care of their own. Yeah, can we post a person at Technology High School? I actually spent a lot of time at Technology High last year. That was a hotspot for us. So we've actually circled that on our map as one to keep an eye on. As were all the parks. The parks seemed to get really busy, and unfortunately, people went in there and, you know, in amongst the people who were doing it right, wanted to set off illegal fireworks. They were using you to mask their illegal fireworks. So, but we will definitely be looking at that area, and as well as all the parks. Jill, can you see some of the questions? I mean, I might be able to go to the chat here.
Okay. So we have a couple of questions have come in specific to apartment complex. And what's the rule related to lighting in an apartment complex? Is there anything specific for that?
Well, I mean, of course, you can't have illegal ones in an apartment complex. I'm going to close this so I can see it. You can't have illegal ones anywhere, even in an apartment complex. A lot of it would be what your apartment manager or your complex would allow. I do know that that's one of the reasons our parks fill up quite a bit, is because people who do live in apartments, they tend to go and use our parks. And if you're going to use our parks, you know, just make sure that you're disposing of those fireworks properly. Take a bucket of water with you. You know, that's, if you buy the fireworks and you go to our park and you light the fireworks, that's your trash. So we ask that you dispose of it properly. And that means take a bucket of water and let them cool off, take them back, and then dispose of them. Because if you dump them in the garbage in the park that night, then we're probably going to be going and putting out dumpster fires again, right? So, but that's what most people have done from the apartments. Is I know they either, if they've got a big courtyard area and are allowed, they'll do them at their apartment. But otherwise, I know that they generally move to the parks, and that's where they go.
Okay. All right. And we have another one. Do you worry that taking away the large fireworks shows will just make more people light off illegal fireworks?
No, I've heard that Petaluma is doing a fireworks show. I haven't confirmed it, but I've heard they're going to do a fireworks show. And I know that last year, in talking to the chief afterwards, they did the same thing we did. They chased illegal fireworks all night. It was incredible, right? So I'm curious if they have a fireworks show this year. I'm curious to hear, was it better or worse? Mm-hmm. My opinion is people who want to light off illegal fireworks are going to do it, right? And they may actually go to the show and do it before or after the show, but they've got this understanding and belief that they have the right to do it, and they're going to do it. So I don't think having a fireworks show is going to stop that behavior. That's just irresponsible behavior, and you're not going to stop with a fireworks show. So no, I don't think it has a huge impact on. We're gonna be chasing illegal fireworks around all night long on the 4th of July, probably half the night on the 3rd and half the night on the 5th, because of individuals who just don't want to follow the rules.
Right. I agree. So we have someone on Zoom who was asking about H section. Do you know if there's deployment specific to H section planned this year?
So there, I mean, H section is part of, it's part of definitely a sector. There are a couple homes that I'm aware of in H section that we'll be keeping an eye on. One of the things we did try to do is we've strategically placed some cameras around the community at some of our hotspots that we know there are problems. So we've tried to use our traffic poles, our light poles and stuff to give us a strategic advantage on being able to capture some video. Because if I have video of you lighting it off and I can identify the house, I still get to write you a ticket, right? I don't have to see you do it. When we have the Nail 'em app out there and we encourage people to download that. There's a couple questions in here about, or maybe some statements about the Nail 'em app there, that they don't always get a response. They don't know if it got through. So those go directly to all of our personnel. We all have the other end of the Nail 'em app where we get the reports. And because the radio is going off 24, it's going off every minute on that night. And we're getting reports in from the Nail 'em app. We're just looking at it and responding. We don't have time to text somebody back and say, I got your message or yes. But we are seeing it and we're responding to those types of calls. But the great thing about the Nail 'em app is you can take video right there on your phone, take a picture on your phone. And if you can get me a picture or video that I can see fireworks going off from a location and I can identify that location, the next day or two, when I do follow up, I will go out there and I will cite the homeowner, regardless of who is lighting them. For they're responsible for their home. So please use the Nail 'em app, download it. And if you're not hearing back from us, it's not because we didn't get it, it's because we're getting inundated with them, but we are following up. The officers are going, oh, we're getting a report over on Prudence, or we're getting a report on, Emily. And so they are using the app, but I'm sorry, we don't have time to email everybody back.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and that's a good point when you're talking about how busy, and I think it's important too to let people know how busy dispatch is and how dispatch is prioritizing calls. And so, if you're waiting longer, understand, that it's incredibly busy and they're taking calls based on priority. And so be patient if you are calling in and choose to go that route, based on the workload that our dispatchers are having to also do during these 4th of July events.
Exactly. That's a great point because, I think we forget that we still have the normal calls for service coming in, right? We still have our day shift, our swing shift, and our graveyard. They're coming in to work the normal patrol duties. And then we have everybody else coming in working the 4th of July. And so that is a massive amount of radio traffic.
Yeah.
Because you've got all these calls coming in about fireworks reports. You've got your normal calls coming in, trespassers, vandalism, domestics, that's all coming in at the same time. And so the more you can use that Nail 'em app for the fireworks related stuff, the more it will help dispatch and actually help people who are trying to get into dispatch. So I would encourage you to use it.
I agree. Let's see. So one question on Facebook, will people get citations if they're using fireworks on days before or after the permitted time?
Yes. So if they're using illegal fireworks, it'll be $1,000. And if they're using safe and sane fireworks or state approved fireworks, it will range from $250 to $750. And the reason there's a range is the first violation is $250, the second is $500, the third is $750. And that's why I ask, just be responsible because, I know that people get upset when we write them a citation, especially when we're writing a citation for the state approved fireworks, right? But, understand that when I tell you, listen, you can use state approved fireworks beginning at 8 a.m. on July 2nd through 10:30 p.m. on July 4th. Just use them during that time, because when you use them outside that area and we see it or we get a call on it, you know, you can't get upset at the officer for doing their job, right? And I know you say, well, use discretion, you know, they should use discretion. And what I say is, well, the person who decided to use the fireworks, knowing the outside the hours allowed, possibly should have used discretion also. So just, you know, we do not like writing those citations. We don't want to ruin anybody's 4th of July, but please just abide by those times, and we won't have to, because the officers really.
Yeah, so we've had a few people comment on Facebook. They want clarity on that window, because a lot of people are like, is it 24 hours? Is it from the start of the first day all the way to the end? And what you're talking about is that it's the hours per day. It's not after 10:30 all the way through the night going into the next day.
No,
It's
yeah,
that window. So no, it's not a 24-hour cycle. It's
Right.
it's per day. Those hours within one day starts the next day over again. So
yeah, 8 a.m. to 10:30 on the 2nd, 8 a.m. to 10:30 on the 3rd, and 8 a.m. to 10:30 on the 4th.
yeah, I think there were some people going from July and then all the way through. And it's like, it's going to be this, yeah, nonstop. So nope, it's
Or-
have breaks. You're supposed to have breaks in there. Yep.
And we do, and I will tell you, we don't have, we run into a lot of problems, literally on the day before 4th of July. You know, this year it's Saturday, unfortunately, but we start hearing them, right? And we're already chasing fireworks on the day before, on the 3rd. And then that night, of course, we're chasing them. And then the 5th, we're still chasing fireworks, right? But last year we had to talk to a lot of people at 11:15 because they were still lighting off. And it's like, you got to put them away. You can't do it. And it was frustrating when they're using the allowed fireworks, but they're using outside the hours. And so it puts you in a situation where you have to be the bad guy. And you don't want to issue someone a $250 cite for using safe and sane fireworks, but you have to, because, you know, my rule is 0 tolerance. The only way we're going to get this thing reeled in is if I take a lot of that discretion away.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Let's see, we have some more questions coming in here. Let's see. Regarding the comment of sending pictures of people setting them off in front of houses and citing the homeowners, what if people set them off in front of other people's houses? I can see this happening a lot in M section. The homeowner might not even be home. This would not be fair to the homeowners.
Yeah, so when we go out, if they're, you know, we have to do some investigation, and if I have to show that the homeowner had knowledge and that the homeowner was allowing it to happen. And so, you know, all of the citations we've written, I don't think there's been one that has been overturned. And it's because we asked the right questions, and we made sure that, you know, the fact that I saw the fireworks coming out of your backyard, and then I go and I knock on the door, and no one knows who lit it, right? Well, guess what? That's the homeowner's responsibility. But you're right. We have people walking down the street who will just drop something and, you know, let it off in the air. And, you know, those are tough. If we see them, we can handle them. But, you know, we have to at least see the firework come from that location and be able to show that the homeowner had knowledge.
Okay.
You know, and that's more than, oh, I was in the bathroom. I didn't know my son lit it off, or my friend lit it off. Well, you're responsible for your friend. But if you were gone and something happened in your yard, you didn't know, you know. So yeah, we do an investigation that way. That's a good point the person brought up.
So, and then another comment is someone who has had exchanges with neighbors, a neighbor in the past, regarding having, you know, fireworks going off, and felt threatened by this person. And so a little bit concerned about taking video or photo. Do you have any suggestions on, you know, concerns with neighbors reporting? Is there anything you can address on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I earlier I was saying that, you know, this is something that you have to decide, right? You have to feel comfortable doing it. And I know I'm asking a big ask. This is a big ask to say, hey, turn your neighbor in, right? So if you don't feel comfortable, I don't want you to put yourself in a situation where you're, there's going to be a physical altercation, or
Right.
your car is going to get vandalized later. That's not what I want. You can always call. You can always reach out. You've got the chief's chat and say, hey, my neighbor at such and such address lights fireworks off every year, and they usually do it, once everything's calmed down, usually around 11. If I have the information, if we can get information like that, I can probably help take that responsibility out of your hand and have somebody there, right? But when we're just driving around hoping to catch people, it's really difficult. So, the more information you can give, and if we can keep you out of that situation, I would love to do it. We'll do it. We'll be the bad guy. We will go and sit, but I gotta have an idea of, like, it's this location, usually around this time. And I got some emails tonight that give me some pretty good information.
Okay.
And I've already sent to the sergeant and said, hey, let's get someone in a plain car and plain clothes down there tonight and tomorrow night, see if we can catch this person.
Mhm.
So yeah, feel free to call us. And I mean, there are things we can do. We can put our own video cameras up. We could do some things if we know, and keep you out of that.
Ahead of the weekend, so kind of have some
Yeah.
time. So that's why we're doing the chat, to
Right.
kind of think about these items. One person was indicating that the creek paths, can be a real issue, and had even suggested there's a way to kind of secure or lock, access into the creek paths, because a lot are getting launched from there. Is there anything specific to creek paths that you know about that can be done?
Well, every year we try to get, we actually put we have a group of officers who we put on bicycles, and we have a group of officers who we put on enduros. And the enduros are specifically for the creek paths, to get our officers, they can get through there much easier than we can with the car. And I believe it's probably the same email that I have here regarding the creek paths.
Okay.
So, we'll be, when we do our briefing, these are some of the things I bring up. That's why the information is good for me, because I brief the entire department before we head out for the 4th of July. And this is the stuff I need to let them know. Hey, this is where the complaints are coming from, because, that's where we're going to concentrate a lot of our effort off the bat. So some of those creek paths cannot be locked and secured. And, the city doesn't want to close down creek paths to people who use them for the right reasons. So we just have to try to be in the right place to stop the illegal activity that's going on. But yeah, we are aware, and that'll be part of my briefing on the 4th with everybody.
Okay, great. I don't see any new questions. A lot of people just kind of commenting on their experiences and, it's different suggestions. Were there any others that came in from the chat's chief email?
Let me check. I don't think so. I checked this just before we got on.
Okay.
That's why I was almost late.
The one just popped in on Zoom here. It says, if I can see things exploding but can't see a specific residence or person, will the NALM app still work?
Yeah. You just, because it's the, the NALM app has certain different features. If it's going off right next to you, it gives us a location right there. If you can video it or take a picture, that's even better. But if all you can do is go on an NALM app and say, I'm seeing fireworks come up, and it looks like it's in the 700 block of Lancaster, right? That sends us now in a direction, right? I know to go down to the 400 block, park my car, get out, and walk to the 700 block and see if I can, find something. So what you're doing is you're kind of guiding us into where we need to be.
Right.
And I will tell you that I spend an awful lot of time out of my car on the 4th of July, because I can walk up on things better than I can drive up on them and see stuff. So don't be surprised if you see officers out of their car walking and, and trying to address these things. But yeah, the location helps.
Well, and I think it's important for people to understand too, that the more information, kind of what you were saying, coming in, and that if one neighbor or if one individual sees it from one angle, well, someone else from a different viewpoint is also calling in, reporting on the same issue, and then another person on the same issue. It's almost like triangulation. You can actually take
Yep.
all this information that's pointing you guys into that right spot, but the more people we have providing information is going to drive you guys into that area. So just because what you may have, you think might be limited, but that combined with what someone else has also provided will really help. So we're looking at data on a total picture that's coming in, hopefully as well, when you're trying to, get folks to these areas that are problematic.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough night for us, but the more information we have, the better. So last year I personally went out afterwards, and based on information that came out in the app that day, I was able to find a couple people who were willing to be witnesses to people they saw lighting illegal fireworks off. And so, I was able to write a couple of additional citations just because I was able to go back to the app, look, recontact some people and go out and have a conversation with them. And they said, yeah, I'm more than willing to identify that house right there as somewhere where illegal fireworks were going off. So, again, that's a choice. I may come and ask you and you make the choice, but we really do. We, as a community, we just have to make this, we have to make it so it's not acceptable. It's, and when someone does it, we need to let them know that it's not right. Everybody's worried about, no one wants to lose their home because a mortar landed on a roof, rolled down into the rain gutter, or there's leaves and pine needles are stacked up there now. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, smoldered and started a fire, and just, hopefully they get out, but even losing a house. So I don't know why, I don't know what the psychological reason for people who think they need to light these dangerous fireworks off is. But it's a problem. And, and I give you my word, we do everything we can. We have everybody that's able to get out there is out there on the 4th of July. And we are looking to try to make an impact on this problem, but for us, I will tell you, it's not the number of citations we write. It's not the number of arrests we make. When we go home after this evening, no one got hurt. None of our community members lost a hand or lost a finger or an eye, and we didn't lose a structure. That's a win for us, right? Because it's about personal safety and property. I don't want to see anybody lose anything. And yeah, we are aggressive and we are trying to write the citation, but we really want people to just be safe. And illegal fireworks, they don't help. That they are dangerous. There's a reason why they're dangerous. They're illegal, it's because they're dangerous. So, I would, if you have a neighbor, I would ask them if they're, every year this is what they do. Have a conversation with them, let them know that this is not, it's not acceptable. And you hope that they don't put you in a position that you feel you need to report them, or they don't put you in a position where you feel you might lose your home. Gotta start having those conversations.
So someone's actually in Zoom asking, looks like your opinion as chief. How do you personally feel about fireworks being allowed in Rohnert Park? Do you believe that legal fireworks are dangerous right now if done responsibly? Personally, I love fireworks and I'm glad they are allowed for now in Rohnert Park.
So one of the things I did want, I really wanted this chat tonight to be about the 4th of July. And I know I put fireworks discussion, but the chat is really about the 4th of July and what our expectations are and what the rules are. And just kind of, I wanted to clear up some of the myths, like, the reporting that the celebration was still on. We wanted to clear that up. We wanted to talk about the ordinance and social host. And you know, that issue of whether safe and sane fireworks are continue after this year is going to be settled. I think the community is asked to have say in it. They're going to have say in it. And so, you know, my job every year is to take whatever we're dealing with in that particular year and make that day safe. And this year we're having safe and sane fireworks. And so my job is to come up with a plan to make sure that I ensure the safety of the community. And so that, you know, that's where I'm going to leave that, is that, you know, hopefully we've given you some great information to help you navigate the 4th of July safely. We've given you some information on, you know, how to get a hold of us, how to contact us, how to work with us, and where you can and can't do fireworks this year. We've given you information on when to use them, when you can buy them. And, you know, we're going to be concentrating on putting the best plan together that we can to make this a safe holiday for everyone out there who's doing it right. And for those of you who are doing it right, thank you, truly, thank you. Because there's enough other people who I got to worry about not doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
For every one of you, I really appreciate it. And I want to thank you for joining tonight. I know it was last minute, but we thought it was important to get this information out, answer some of your questions. And you know, the 4th of July is about, you know, our independence, and it's a day to celebrate, you know, as a nation. And so I think that's what I want to focus on, is making it a safe day so we can celebrate the day that it's supposed to be. And I hope everybody has a great July 4th and is safe.
All right, so we have another question, and it kind of goes to, is there anything that can be done regarding social media posts and pics of neighbors bragging about their illegal fireworks? So is that something kind of the same thing, where if they send it to Chat's chief, and it would be something that you would share kind of along the line, take that information?
Absolutely. And, you know, I'll tell you, sometimes people share a lot. And, you know, people may share just enough that they get more than a visit from us also. So yeah, if you get information, I actually try to, someone suggested I go on the Rohnert Park neighbor Facebook and kind of monitor that, but it's a private, right? It's private Facebook, and those private Facebooks don't usually let the chief of police in, you know, only monitoring.
Yeah.
But if you get information, or you see someone posting pictures up there, and it shows someone lighting a mortar off, and the address of their house is right there, and I can identify it, get it to me. I will do whatever I can. If I can do something with it, I promise you I will. So, because here's one thing I'll tell you is, my staff would absolutely love to have the 4th of July off. They would love it. I haven't had a 4th of July off in 31 years, right? Because it's just the day we work. And my staff would love to. And I told my staff, when we have a 4th of July that's not an issue, because we don't have the problem with illegal fireworks, you guys can have the day off. And so believe me, they want to do everything they can to make this problem go away, so they could actually spend the 4th of July with their families.
Yeah.
So get us the information. We'll take it and run with it.
Okay. Well, we have another person, unfortunately, joined in a little bit late, and just asking if, before we sign off, you could just do a quick summary, kind of a highlight of what you really want folks to take away from this chat. And hopefully they can watch the recording to get the full detail. But if this, as we're kind of getting close to wrap up here, is there anything that's the big takeaway for folks to remember that you really want to emphasize right now?
Yeah. So again, our commercial lots are closed. You cannot do any fireworks in commercial lots in the community. You can purchase state-approved fireworks from July or June 30th at 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. on July 4th. And you can use them July 2nd, 8 to 10:30 each day. through July 4th. The fines for illegal fireworks are $1,000 each. The fine for misuse of safe and sane fireworks start at 200, go to 5, and then 750. We're encouraging you to use the NAILM app. Just download it on your iPhone or your Samsung Android NAILM app. And if you're having trouble, if you're having trouble downloading that or finding it, come to the front counter. Just come down to the public domain and we will help you. We will take your phone and we'll download it for you and get you all set up. All right. And then, so we encourage you to use that as you know, if there's not a need to call dispatch, use the app, because dispatch gets pretty overwhelmed with calls. And then the only other thing I kind of talked about earlier was, in order to start putting a damper on this issue, we got to start making it socially unacceptable. We got to let our neighbors know we're not going to tolerate this in our neighborhood, right? If you use illegal fireworks, I'm going to report you. Now I know that's big. I know that's a big ask. So you got to make up your mind whether you want to do that or not. But what I'm telling people is, if we're leaving it only to public safety to address the illegal fireworks issue in the city, it's going to be really difficult to get a handle on it. We need the community's help. We need people who are willing to step up and say, I'm not going to tolerate that behavior and I'm reporting you to the police. If you feel comfortable doing that, do it. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, reach out to us, try to give us additional information or information up front that'll help us address that problem, right? Because like I said, some of these people are pretty sophisticated. They've got people watching out for them. They got lookouts, and it's really hard for us to even get close to their residence and see them do the illegal fireworks. So you can be our eyes and ears out there and help us out if you want. But again, I don't want anybody putting themselves in a bad position or creating a situation where there might be a physical altercation or something. Let us do that, but reach out to us. So I think.
And there's no show.
There's no show. There's no 4th of July show.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. See, now the person's not going to have to go back and watch the whole show now. So
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
they got off light.
I think that's it for us. I think you've kind of covered, like I said, a lot of comments, but we're kind of talking about the same thing at this point. So the fact that we will post this, you know, it's going to be on our Facebook page. We'll put it up on YouTube and share it on Nextdoor. And so folks watching this, and they can share it with their, you know, neighbors and pass the word, and then reach out to you on Chief's Chat email that we've sent out on our Nixles and Post. So that way we can help you and go ahead and hopefully keep our community safer this year. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for giving up, you know, 55 minutes of your Tuesday night again. I know I'm asking a lot because I'm always on here, but again, no chat the first Tuesday of July, as I will be on vacation, and we'll pick it up. That would be what, the 6th? So then the 20th?
Probably
July 20th?
something around there. We'll nix it out.
Yes, you get a break from me until July 20th. Then I'll come back and bother you again. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.